Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Yeah, the proudest journey would
Audio
have to
Jungle.
be the fact that I'm not a businessman and I'm here. That's insane. Like learning all these same skills that are required. Everyone says they want to just start a company. It's like, oh, I work right now, but I'm going to start a company, build Uber of pancakes or whatever, right? Building a business is one of the hardest things you can do as a human being. It's like getting a PhD in getting a PhD. It's so insane. And never having built a business, never been having been great at sales, having been terrible at sales as a kid or whatever. Awful as a salesman, like the worst. Um, Going from that to starting something and then building it and then not being terrible at it. You know, being terrible, sure, but not enough to go bankrupt. But like being just good enough to avoid destruction and then pull myself along and then get better and better and like learn, you know, I mean like accounting, sales, marketing, design, not just design at like a normal level, like literally insane like Michelangelo Renaissance design. And learning it, and that alone on a PhD level, that's like a PhD in its own, like typography, classical design, Pacioli, Feliciano, Alberti, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, all that stuff. Learn that, right? Discover that. Plus, we're talking about development, so CSS, SAS, HTML5, jQuery, JavaScript, all those things, and learning that on a high level, right? PHP, WordPress, right? So we're talking like development, design, accounting, business, sales, marketing, um, negotiating, just so many disciplines that are very complicated, and when mastering them to a level that's good enough to stay afloat and actually grow and actually be good, makes this one of the 5% companies that are going to succeed. And almost every business that's ever started will fail. And cutting through that impossible statistic, the impossible statistic, to get on the other side of being the 5% that maybe will not fail, is incredibly difficult to get to, and I'm very proud of that. I'm always improving myself because you have to be in a constant state of improvement just to make through the journey, because it requires so many human faculties to be on a high level of performance. Like your time management has to be perfect. Your work ethic, your motivation, your morale, your energy has to be on a high level at all times. Um, and you have to continue to push that if you don't have a good time management. Like if I had a terrible time management system. I was learning all these things that I just mentioned, and I was bad about waking up early just to learn those things, or I was good at going to sleep too late, so I have to wake up later because I didn't have the discipline to go to sleep earlier. So discipline, a lot of moral virtues that you need to be a good human being are even more in demand when you have to be a good businessman. And so I'm still in the process of getting better at those things. I'm not by any means perfect at my time management. That's hard to me still. But I'm much better at a lot of things. I'm just being in the marathon every day. You get muscles. You just get muscles. And so I'm learning better how to be time management. I'm learning. It's hard if there are 5 or 6 or 7 major knowledge domains in the process of running your business. It's fine to have that, and to even have all that in the dome and have all that knowledge and deploy it every now and then when you need to. What's hard about it is switching from one knowledge domain to another at the same time. So like I can talk to you about budget reconciliation and payroll and taxes in New Jersey versus taxes in Philadelphia. I had to learn that, and then go from that to the design of Michelangelo in the same second. is very difficult, because then I have to delete all that knowledge about accounting and like upload all that knowledge about design in the same brain and then talk about that. And that's very, very tough to like switch knowledge domains in a quick moment. Like you're a videographer, or anyone who's a videographer, suddenly they have to talk about cooking and spices. Like you have to like forget about all about video and be about spices. That used to take me like a long time to switch mentally from one to the other, and I literally had a brain freeze in that moment of time. I just couldn't think about the thing that I'm forgetting and about the thing that I'm like remembering. I just had to like go on hibernation for like days sometimes. Early on, I had to I would spend days switching mentally from being one person to being another person. Now I take a couple of hours. I want to get it down to be able to switch in 30 minutes, or maybe 5 minutes one day, so I can talk about design, and then I turn around and I talk about development. I turn around and I talk about business building, and then I talk about payroll in New Jersey, and then I turn around and I talk about account and marketing in California. In the same breath, that's my next goal to get to and be good at fast. That's very hard, and I think I'm getting there, but it's taking me some time. Discipline is the most important virtue in business, apart from like creativity and like learning angles and finding ways to make it more successful. That's maybe the number one virtue in business, being creative. But the second most important virtue is discipline, because there are so many things that are regimented and that are structural, and if you can't bring your body and your mind to follow the structure, then the structure will be disrupted by the inability of your, like at the basic level, if you have a meeting that you can't wake up to, you've lost a client. If you have employees that are coming in, and then you have an interview at 12 o'clock, and then you have a design review discussion at 1:30, then you have some payroll questions with your accountant at 4 p.m. You have to be mentally ready for those times. What if the accounting question comes up, the accounting time at 4 p.m. runs over, and then you just can't think about accounting. You're tired, so you just check out. But if you're disciplined, you will force yourself to think about what's on what's next to be thought about. And so discipline forces you to switch and to adjust and to continue to fit your mind and fit your body, fit the patterns of your life towards the needs of the business. And people just don't want to do that. Like people just want to do what they want to do. Like the only thing people have a sort of a need to be disciplined in most of the time is just get to work on time. Once you wake up and you get there by 9 a.m. and you just stay there for the whole day and then you're out whenever you want to, that's like the only hard decision in the morning. But if you're a business owner, you have to make hard decisions every 30 minutes. Like every day, like every week, every month, every year for the rest of your life. There's no end to that 9 a.m. wake up call. It's not once a day anymore, it's all the time. And so you have to be willing to adopt that discipline and submit yourself to that discipline. Well, one of the things that I'm bad at still is I'm bad at waking up. Like I just honestly, like I go to sleep later than I should still, because I'm more of a night owl. I'm really not meant to be a morning person. And I'm called to wake up at 6, and I go to sleep at 2 or 1, because I'm anxious and I'm like, my mind is buzzy with work and thoughts and ideas at 1 a.m. And like I force myself to go to sleep by like 2, and up at 6 is impossible. So like I'm up at 8 instead, which is way later than I want. And even then I'm groggy, I'm grouchy. Like for a good hour, I'm super grouchy at everyone and everything. I just don't want to get up even at 8. Like so it takes me a while to get into the zone. But what helps me get into the zone is back to what I was saying earlier, like the whole thing about the heart. Like it's not about something that I have to do for somebody else, or even for myself, but I don't want to. Like doing laundry for myself. Like it's something I would love to see happen. I'm doing something that is so passionate for me. I'm so passionate about it. It's such a close thing to my heart to do and to see become realized, that that if I remind myself of that, that helps me get my wooden feet out of bed, get my wooden head off the pillow, and like I'm off to the races. I'm like off building or starting to wake up, starting to force myself to wake up to go and build that thing a little more that day. And then I do that for the next however many hours, and then I'm going to sleep at 1, and the next morning I'm wooden again, and I'm like, "Ugh, I have to like restart the process." But like one of the things I'm working on is I'm just gonna try to sleep, try to go to sleep early, and just not be so incapacitated. It's funny that I was once, asking everyone to get them tea or whatever. Here you go. Here's your tea. And I was like, "What else can I get for you?" Like asking everyone, and getting the pizza and all that. And then like I went out to get some coffee for everyone. I'm like, wait a second, why am I getting coffee for everyone? In a normal company, like everyone else gets the coffee for the boss. I'm getting the coffee for everyone else. And I'm like, that's the essence of how different we are. That right there is the difference.